There's a new push to crack down on corruption at the Capitol. It comes a day after one of the state's most powerful politicians was sentenced to prison. Capitol reporter Kimberly Howard is live at our Capitol Bureau. Kimberly, a Republican assemblyman is pitching a package of ideas to fight corruption.
Yeah, that's right, Ann. In short, Assemblyman Steve McLaughlin wants campaign finance reform, term limits, and pension forfeiture. The Republicans, of course, are in the minority in the Assembly, so McLaughlin admits it may be tough to push his ideas through. Still, he says the issue of curing corruption should not be partisan.
Everybody keep stepping back, step back, step back.
With former Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver on his way to prison and former Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos set to be sentenced next week, Assemblyman Steve McLaughlin is pushing a new package of bills aimed at cracking down on corruption.
So we have a significant problem here, and the problem's not getting better. I would contend that the problem is getting worse.
McLaughlin is proposing a cap on certain campaign contributions. He wants to limit the amount an individual, corporation, union, lobby group, or business can give to a political committee to $10,000.
New York State has the highest campaign contribution limits of any state that has contribution limits in the country. It's about a handful that don't. We think that that would be a step in the right direction, and we'd be supportive of it. Certainly, conceptually, the devil is always in the details on any bill.
And because the bills aren't completely drafted yet, lawmakers aren't able to dissect those details. But McLaughlin is hoping he can eventually garner support on both sides of the aisle to end so-called bid rigging, cut off a corporation's ability to donate to a political candidate if they have business before the state.
If you receive that contract from the state of New York, this bill would require you to notify the candidate or politician that you donated to or contributed to. They would then have to give you back your contribution.
Finally, McLaughlin's calling for 8-year term limits on legislative leaders.
8 years is good enough for the President of the United States. It's absolutely good enough for any legislative leader. Unlimited is not good because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Look no further than Sheldon Silver's sentencing yesterday.
Don't stop.
Yeah, McLaughlin is also pushing for people convicted of public corruption to be stripped of their pensions. Coming up at 6, why that idea has been so difficult to get passed into law. Ann?
Kimberly, speaking of no pension forfeiture, there is a way the justice system has sort of been getting around this not being legal in New York.
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday, we saw the judge in the Silver case impose a $1.75 million fine. That's in addition to more than $5 million he has to pay in restitution. If you do the math, that essentially is taking away the nearly $80,000 a year pension he's now collecting. Live at the Capitol Bureau, Kimberly Howard, CBS 6 News.